And then, so finally what we want? We want the maximum happiness, right? What do you want? We want the maximum happiness, right? And then we have been, and then from our ordinary thinking, from the point of view of our ordinary thinking, this is a very important point which I'd like to share with you. From our ordinary way of thinking, if there is one agent which can possibly give you the maximum happiness, what is that agent? From the point of view of the ordinary thinking, right? Self-centered attitude. This is a force, right? I want to be happy. I want to be happy. This self-centered attitude, that should have the maximum capacity. But then you have given chance to this self-centered attitude since time immemorial till now. But it failed to achieve that. Self-centered attitude is with us since time immemorial until now. And it had never accomplished that, the ambition that you have in your mind, that I should have the maximum happiness. And this self-centered attitude, it fails. Still we are not disillusioned by this self-centered attitude. Still we are not disillusioned. Still we go after that, thinking that it will give us the maximum happiness. Now it is pointless. It is pointless. The time has already proved. Time has already proved that this self-centered attitude is totally incapable. And not only incapable, this is the one which attracts all the miseries. And this is the one which attracts all the miseries. In fact, miseries meaning you are being harmed by someone else. You are being harmed by someone else. If you are someone who can be affected and harmed by someone else, which means that you are vulnerable. You agree with me or not? You are vulnerable. In true sense, there is a treasure within us which would make us totally freed of being vulnerable. There's a treasure there within us. There's this tremendous power within us which will make us totally freed of being vulnerable. What is that treasure? Buddha nature. Buddha nature is within us. If we're able to disclose it fully, then no factor, no external factor can make you vulnerable. No external factor can affect you. Even if you eat the deadliest of cyanide, you cannot be killed. Your body cannot be affected if this Buddha nature is unraveled. Then, however strong the other person is, however disastrous the earthquake is, however vicious the terrorists are, even if you are in the hands of the vicious of the terrorists, in the most disastrous natural calamity, you will not be affected. You will not be affected. But then the fact that we are affected means that we are made vulnerable. What makes us vulnerable while we have the greatest of the potential to be freed of ourselves of the vulnerability? What makes us vulnerable is a self-centered attitude. And still we are not disillusioned by this self-centered attitude. Still we follow the dictates of this self-centered attitude. So therefore now, from all these reasonings given by this great Bodhisattva Shantideva, which is now time for us to say no to the self-centered attitude. Now, let us do another experiment. So, since time immemorial until now, we have been following this self-centered attitude, trusting that this self-centered attitude will bring something, happiness, and will shun all our miseries. But in actuality, it failed. The time proves that. Time has proven that. Now we do another experiment, the opposite experiment. Instead of cherishing oneself, let's start cherishing others. Let's start cherishing others and see to the result. And to amazement, it will not take us this long time. We don't have to wait until time, infinite time for the result to come about. It's just a matter of how intense you are in this experiment. If you're very intense like Jesus Miller, just one life is enough to say that other cherished mind as opposed to self-centered attitude. Other cherished mind is the one which can actually wisely give you the maximum benefit yourself and to your near and dear ones. And see, if you're able to succeed in that way, then this is how you can best benefit your immediate families, your mother, father, and brothers, sisters, your children, your nephews, nieces, all these, you can immediately benefit them. The first one who receives the maximum benefit is your immediate families. For example, the Buddha Shakyamuni, this Prince Siddhartha, he became Buddha, and because of which all his immediate families, including his wife Yashodhara, they were the person who were to receive the maximum benefit. They were to achieve Buddhahood immediately. This is the benefit. So contrary to that, while this is a fact, but the moment you are, oh, I practice Bodhicitta, your family, what are you doing? You are doing something funny thing. You know, the moment you start, okay, now I'm going to Tibet House, I'm learning Bodhicitta, this Bodhisattva Shantideva is amazing, this tag. The moment you start, oh, you're doing something funny. We don't know what you're doing, right? Actually, you're doing something which, if accomplished, when accomplished, those people who are saying that you're doing something funny, that person is the one who is going to get the maximum benefit first. And because that person is so ignorant about this fact, that person is encouraging, dissuading you. That person is dissuading you from doing something which will immediately benefit himself or herself in the greatest way. Because of and then that is what the other person is causing hindrance on you. Which means that you should be wise. You should be wise enough. You should be courageous enough. Because the child doesn't see the benefit of going to school. And if the child says, no, I'm not going to go to school. And if the mother, likewise says, oh, no, yes. And the child cries and the mother cries. Right? I'm not going to school. And the mother also cries. And the mother says, yes, you do. And then, after a few years, the child will complain. Mother, you are responsible that I'm now uneducated, that I'm illiterate now. Right? Because the child at that age, the child does not know. So it's the responsibility of the mother to make sure that no matter what the child's wish is at that moment, but then the child, in the long run, the child is benefited. It's the responsibility of the mother who could see longer in terms of time. So likewise, when we engage in such a virtuous deed, such virtuous the practice, then it is our responsibility. It is our responsibility that this path is not being heralded, is not being impeded. Okay. 1-1. Because of attachment to my body, even a small object of fear frightens me. So who would not revile as an enemy this body that gives rise to fear? So all the fears that we have, they are 99.9% associated with your body, because of which the fear comes in you. And then should we be able to transcend this thinking, ordinary thinking of cherishing the body, then we see that we are freed from our fears. Right? Okay. This body gives rise to fear. 1-2. By wishing for a means to remedy the hunger, thirst, and sickness of the body, I might kill birds, fish, and deer, and loiter by the sides of the roads to rob others. Okay, now look. For example, many people, they engaged in robbery, they engaged in burglary, they engaged in corruption, they engaged in killing others, and so forth. And tell me, say a robbery case, say 1,000 rupees lost, and the one person is badly injured by being stabbed by the thief. And what was stolen? Just 2,000 rupees. Right? Okay, now tell me, this robber, the thief, do you think that this thief is already very rich, and then for fun or whatever went to stab the person or to steal? Do you think so? No. If the person is rich, why should the person have to take the risk of losing one's own life just for 2,000 rupees? Which means that the person must be terribly poor, stealing 2,000 rupees, and for that purpose daring to kill someone means that the person must be very poor, right? And then that person is desperately in need of money. Why does one do? What for does the person need money? Because the person might not have any food to eat. The person might not have any food to give to his or her children. Right? To feed the children. And then why should the children be fed? If they don't feed the child, then the child will die. Right? Okay, so let's see. Feeding meaning the body. Because of this body, then we need food. Because of the food, if the food is not there, then the person becomes so desperate. Many a times the robbers, unless you are like someone who just breaks into banks, right? Other than that, many of the robber cases, they are because of being desperate. Because of being desperate. Okay, so we see that because of so look, finally who is responsible? And then this person, because of that, goes to to steal something. And in the process, the owner knows about that and then arrest you. Come to arrest you. To escape, you then stab the person. And then the person dies. And then it becomes such a news. And then the police are after you. You are arrested. And then you are put in prison. Right? And then you are put in prison, and then, who knows, you have been persecuted so badly to the extent of getting killed or capital punishment. So we see that all these terrible things are happening because of what? Because of his mischief. And this mischief because of what? Because of hunger. This hunger because of what? Because of the body. So we see that this body, of course, we need to take care of this body. This body is a tremendous. It is referred to as a tremendous, very precious vehicle, very precious boat to cross the samsara. At the same time, if you don't see this body as a precious vehicle, right? This body, other than doing something good, this body has nothing good in it. It has all the problems that we have, they're all because of this body, right? So if you see the negative consequences, the negative results of the body, then our excessive attachment to the body will terminate. And because of which, then we will take care of the body to the extent it is needed, so that this body can be used as like a vehicle that we go through the journey towards Buddhahood, right? Not excessively, right? Not to the extent where we waste all the time, where we create all problems with the community and so forth. And for example, corruption. Corruption, just say crores of rupees corruption is not for, I'm hungry. No. Because of the greed, right? So initial trigger was the hunger. And then it becomes more and more greedy, more and more ambitious. And then it crosses the boundary of the hunger, and then simply to quell your greed. So we see that this is a problem. Then you engage in these things, then we see that all the precious time that we have, we just waste them, ruin them by engaging all negative actions. So this all finally boils down to our body, right? So seeing that, it doesn't mean that we have to now neglect our body, no. Take care of our body to the extent it is required. That this body is, we don't overfed ourselves, right? Okay, we feed just to the extent we need it, our body needs it, and then once you reach the age 40 plus, then if you eat more, then it's a problem, right? Those of younger, you may not understand it, right? Age 20s, you will not understand it. You cross age 40, you eat more, and then immediately you become, fat, right? This is the problem. So therefore, just take care of your body, not to the extent of wasting your time, only just engrossed, preoccupied by looking for resources to take care of that, So therefore, you just take care of that up to what is needed. And then the remaining time you use for our journey, gade para samgade bodhisattva. Okay. Now, by wishing for means to remedy the hunger, thirst, and sickness of the body, I might kill birds, fish, and deer, and loiter by the sides of roads to rob others. So because of this body, then we tend to engage in all the negative actions. And these negative actions will result in what? Result in more terrible body in the future. More terrible, because creating pain on others, robbing others, creates so much pain on others. And then killing birds. Being non-vegetarian is a terrible thing. I don't mean to say that we have to all stop, meat today only. No, I don't mean to say that. But what I'm saying is that, just give an example. Sometimes our body may not need that, but it's just for taste, just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, tongue taste. Life is lost. Someone else's life is lost. So we create so much pain on someone else. And then this pain will be rebounds. All actions have equal and opposite reaction. So next lives, we will go through the same thing, right? We'll go through the same thing. We might take birds like these animals, and we will kill for someone else's food. And then we'll go through these pains. So look, just because of this, what made you suffer in this life? Say, as a bird, as a chicken like this. What made you suffer? Because of a negative karma. What made you accumulate negative karma? Because of having done all these negative things on others. What made you do that? Because of our excess attachment to the body. Just to feed this body. Okay. So we see that this cherishing of this body is not actually doing anything good to you, but actually harming you in the long run to make you suffer more, and it's an endless chain in the future. Okay, 1, 2, 3. If for the sake of his profit and comfort, I would kill even my father and mother. People do that. It's terrible. People dare to kill their father and mother just for, say, the parents are about to die in the last going through terminal illness. And then the children just doubting having a suspicion that parents may not sign that their properties will go to the son or daughter. It's terrible. It's terrible. And some children, they may just force the parents. Parents passing through such a difficult time, sickness, and so much fear of death. Now the child is giving an additional pain, forcing the parents to sign the legal document that the properties will go to the son, to the daughter, like this. Terrible. It's terrible. What a service are we doing to our parents? Right? So that way, what negative karma we are accumulating? How much negative karma? And the Buddha very clearly stated that, say, one negative karma, say degree 1, that you do to someone else. And the same negative karma, the same intensity you do to your parents. The negative karma, accumulation of negative karma is multiplied millions times when you do the same thing to your parents. So then, because of which, just in this life, you made your parents suffer terribly more by forcing the parents to sign a legal document. And then, in the next life, you suffer terribly in hell realm. Terribly. So that suffering, enormity of suffering, is because of what? Because of this negative karma of forcing your parents to sign this legal document when their parents die, where the parents need your maximum caring, love, and so forth. Now, instead of giving love and care when they are passing through this deadliest of the time, you are giving extra fear in them, extra anger in them. Right? So, because of which you suffer terribly. You suffer terribly in the future lifetimes because of this simple act of creating pain on your parents. And what made you create pain on this parent? Because of the craving after this property. And what made you crave for the property? I wanted to cherish, self-cherishing. So this self-cherishing, it is not doing anything good to us. It simply destroys us. It attracts all miseries. So now it is time. It is now time for us to say enough is enough. It is enough. Now we have to say no to the self-centered attitude. Rather than asking your parents to sign this legal document, you have to give time. It is time for you to give love and affection. With the legal documents, even if the parents say that a little hesitant, don't worry about this part, but please be happy. I'm there to give you happiness. I'm there to give you love and affection. It's time for you to do that, right? Okay. Now look, So all these points, if you could think of the 9 steps, they will go into which? All these reflections, they are going to which step? Step number 2. What is step number 2? Reflecting on the deep merits of cherishing oneself, right? Deep merits of cherishing oneself. All these points, what you find here, they will go in there. So we need to know after studying all these, the stanzas by our Bodhisattva Shantideva, we need to know where these points should be interrelated. Correlated with which of the 9 steps. Okay. 1, 2, 3. If for the sake of his profit and comfort, I would kill even my father and mother and steal the property of the 3 gems, then I would undoubtedly proceed to burn in the flames of the deepest hell. And all these things, what made you behave like this? Because of self-centered attitude. It is not doing anything good. It gives us such an illusion, false illusion, that then you will get all the property of your parents and so forth. Right? In actuality, you are just pushing away all the wealth which you can potentially acquire in the future lifetimes. And then you are throwing yourself in the deepest of the hell realm to suffer terribly and endlessly. So these are all attracted by the self-centered attitude. This is the service the self-centered attitude is doing to us. So these are the reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. 1, 2, 4. Therefore, what adept would desire, protect, and venerate this body? So, if this body is what makes me engage in all these negative actions, which will eventually throw me into the deepest of the hell realm and let me suffer terribly endlessly, then this body is nothing. This is not something which I should venerate, right? I'll just feed this body to the extent this body needs it, and beyond that, I'll just ignore it. So this should be attitude. So that way, you are not neglecting your body. You are saying no to the self-centered attitude. This is the very skilled way of saying no to the self-centered attitude. Okay. 1, 2, 4. Therefore, what a wise person, adept here meaning, what a wise man, what a wise woman, what a wise person would desire, protect, and venerate this body, who would not scorn it and regard it as an enemy. Enemy? Failing to treat it in a proper way will result in you going through all the endless miseries in the future. Okay, we'll stop here for this session. We'll break for 15 minutes tea break. Okay, while people are coming, just see if you have 1 or 2 questions. Anyone has questions? Or anything? Yes?
Geshe, when you were sharing the self-centered attitude and you related to Buddha nature, is the absence of self-centered attitude Buddha nature?
Okay, relating the absence of, let's say, the relation, self-centered attitude not related to Buddha nature. Dissolving self-centered attitude related to Buddha nature. You're getting it? Removing the self-centered attitude. So basically the idea is that this Buddha nature, it is like a very beautiful light. Very beautiful light. Very beautiful light. So this light, when it's obscured by vase, then this, however bright this light is, we cannot see that from outside. It cannot function to illuminate the outside room. So then if somebody tells you, how can you say that there's light there? And then even if there is light, it is not functioning. So what should we do then to make it function? Just smash this vase. Likewise, the tremendous, incredible power of the treasure of the Buddhahood is within each one of us, and yet it is not visible. That is not visible because that is obscured by the vast-like self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. So these are the two things: self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude, which obscure this Buddha nature. So the moment we start practicing adhicharya more and more, then the self-grasp, self-centered attitude becomes less and less. As the self-centered attitude becomes less and less, then the Buddha nature becomes more and more manifest. Right? So self-centered attitude, elimination of the self-centered attitude, that is related to the awakening of the Buddha nature.
When we were studying this, and present also, like we're talking, whatever we do, whatever sins or whatever bad acts, we get always the result in the next life.
Not necessarily next life. Even this life is very possible.
I mean, that's what I was.
Yeah, even this is very possible. In fact, it's a birth as a human being. So that, no doubt, is the result of the positive karma from the past lives, not of this life. Birth. For the karma, there are two kinds. One is the projecting karma, and the other one is the cooperative karma. Cooperative karma and the projecting karma. Projecting karma is the one which decides your births, which decides your rebirth. Whereas the cooperative karma, that does not decide your rebirth, but that decides your immediate the facilities or the immediate let's say furnishing of the birth. Say you might take human birth because of a very positive karma, but then in this human birth you are born as a disabled child. So that as a human birth, this is a very positive karma, result of positive karma. Then that human birth, what the nature of that is in the form of with disabilities. So that disability is the negative cooperative karma. At the same time, you are born in such a compassionate, loving, caring family. Although you are disabled, but then there are so many people to take care of you. That is again the positive karma. So within the cooperative karma, in fact, the projecting karma is one at a time. Projecting karma acting on you is one at a time. Whereas the cooperative karma is millions can play simultaneously. Millions. Say, the child is born as a human being. What is that? The projecting karma is positive. But the cooperative karma, there are millions acting on the same child. One, born as disabled child, negative karma. Born in a very caring and loving family, positive karma. Then born with a brilliant intelligence, although disabled physically, but then mentally the child is brilliant, can be a genius. That's positive karma. At the same time, every time there's a tendency for the child to be just shining, there's some obstacles coming here and there, all the negative. So, in short, infinite cooperative karmas play simultaneously, whereas the projecting karma operates only one at a time. Yeah. And the projecting karma, they're always in sequence. Karma in one life and the result in the another life. Whereas the projecting karmas, it could be karma accumulated in the past lives and the result in the next lives, or karma accumulated in the same life and the result coming in the same life. That is possible. Yeah. So another way of classifying the karma is the karma which ripens in the very life, which ripens the next life, and which ripens the future lives. Right? 3 karmas I explained. And the karma which ripens in this very life, that is considered to be very intense and powerful karma. But the positive karma or negative positive, it could be very positive, powerful positive karma, or negative, it could be intensely negative karma.
What different kinds of actions may become projecting karmas or cooperative?
Okay, this is good. This is good question. In fact, it is not that if you do this karma, then this will be a projecting karma. There's no hard and fast rule as such. Projecting karmas are very forceful karmas. Projecting karmas, they're extremely forceful karmas, whereas the cooperative karmas, they may not be as forceful as the projecting karma. And another one is that one karma is one. There's one karma. This same karma, say it is like say your parents say that, oh, this is your this is the money for your building a house, and then you plan to build a house for say 2 lakhs rupees. Nowadays 2 lakhs rupees no house. You can build say 20 lakhs rupees, and then the parents give you 25 lakhs. So you spend 20 lakhs on house, and then how much is left? 5 left. 5 you can spend on other things. Likewise, say the karma, the main force can be exhausted in projecting. Then the remaining force by the same karma can be cooperative factors. Okay. So this is question from here. Your name, sorry? Menuka's question. Okay. Now we'll continue with the text. We were reading page 110. Page 110, stanza 125. If I give this, say you have some biscuits here, and everybody is so hungry. You're also very hungry. Then you're thinking, shall I give this or shall I not give this? What is your thinking? Will you give or not give? Huh? We give. But if you give, then what are you going to eat? Okay, that's okay. And then others thinking what could be, I'll keep it for myself. Why? Because if I give this to others, then what will I eat? Right? Then
I get married.
Then Venerable may say that, if I eat it, then what will I give to others? There are 2 ways of thinking, right? One which is driven by self-centered attitude, and the other which is driven by other cherished mind. So it says, if I give this, what shall I have left to enjoy? Right? If I give this, then who will take care of me? What will I enjoy? That is a devil's thought. Such selfish thinking is the way of ghosts or way of devils. If I enjoy this, it is amazing. If I enjoy this, what shall I have left to give? Such selfless thinking is a quality of the gods. Gods here meaning divinity. Mean virtuous. In fact, the mothers, this is the mother's thinking, right? So in fact, it was very touching. Once there was one young boy who was coming to collect the garbage, and then he was the family problem, because of which he was helping his parents. Usually the parents, the father comes to pick up the garbage from and then sometimes he comes, the young boy, very young boy. When he comes, then I would usually give some money or some fruits and chocolates like that. One day I gave him one biscuit. Then it's very touching. He said, he first got his share. Then he said, for my mom and daddy. Then he's asking for, he doesn't forget. He's not overly obsessed with himself. His thoughts of his parents immediately came. So likewise, this is usually what happens to the mothers. So when they have something good, the thought of the child comes, that this should be for the child, right? In fact, again, there was one lady beggar who had the body being burned, and then sometimes she would bully me. So say after a few months, then she sees me. The last few months, where did you go? I could not see you. She says, I should pay you for her, the money. Then one day I gave some money, plus then I give some chocolates or whatever. And the chocolates and something edible, then she would say that this is for my child. Always, instead of just enjoying herself, immediately the child comes to the mind. So this is this thought, if it arises in us in relation to other sentient beings, imagine how beautiful that is. When you have such a thought, imagine if there is, whether or not there's room for hatred, whether or not there's room for anger, whether or not there's room for bullying others. No, all these negative thoughts will simply dissolve when you have this feeling of love towards others, the way the mother feels towards the child. Okay, so this is a brilliant. So these things, these teachings, say the stanza here. This is to test. This is to test ourselves to see which level we reached. Which level we reached. Say the moment you get something and then somebody comes in, I like to, can I have this? Or somebody finds, oh, if I give this, then what will I have? If this thought comes, this is what? This text says that this thought is, such selfish thinking is the way of the ghosts, the devils. Why devils? The devils are to harm you. This thought actually harms you. Because this thought forbids you from practicing love and compassion towards others. Without the practice of love and compassion, no bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, Buddhahood is impossible. Buddhahood is impossible. For example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, wherever he goes, just he shows his face and millions of people, they find the joy which they never experienced before. Right? So what made him have this power? Simply to show his face and then millions of people, say thousands and thousands of people, they just see his face and they start crying. What made him have this power? Because of the love. And imagine you are the one. Instead of saying that if I give this, then what will I have to enjoy myself? Instead of this, simply go out and thousands and thousands of people, they love you. Right? Which is better? You would surely go for the second one, where you show your face and everybody loves you. That would be far, far better than this attitude. If I give this, then what will I enjoy? This attitude is devilish thinking. Because it forbids you from affection. Without love and affection, how can millions of people love you? So this power with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to attract such an audience, with such a love, nobody is forcing that you should go to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Everybody is coming, spending money, time, energy to see him, just to see him. Right? So that power is coming to him because of his love.